What's up, guys? Welcome back to Young, Hot, and Divorced. I'm Tori, and I'm joined today by Rebecca and Monica, who are from Mamala. Today, we're going to be talking about this awesome support snack, and Rebecca's going to talk more about it, but I don't want to give too much away up front. We're going to be introducing ourselves as whose mom we are, because that's just like what us moms do. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm Sylvie and Stanley's mom. I'm the founder and CEO of Mamala Organics. We are a functional line of support snacks for women's health, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Monica.
I am Monica Oslander. I am Jocko and Saul's mom, and I am the dietitian on the Mamala team. I also own and operate a private practice in Miami of several registered dietitians and psychotherapists.
So just to jump right into what Mamala is, because I'm sure, if you hear the name Mamala, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? So, Rebecca, get into it. Give us the entire story of Mamala, how it came to be, what it is today. Floor is yours.
It's actually funny because I get so many DMs and emails from people saying, my grandma used to call me Mamala, or my mom calls me Mamala. Mamala literally translates in Yiddish to little mama. But how we see Mamala is really, how are we providing a maternal love? So in our case, we can be a Mamala as moms. Our brother-in-law could be a Mamala when they're showing up and bringing us support snacks, doing the things to really take care of us. So it's really about like who in your life is providing maternal love and how are you showing up for women in your lives to provide them a maternal love. So that's the genesis of the name Mamala. But also my mom always called me Mamala. So basically, like rewind, spent over a decade living in New York, doing PR and comms, launching and supporting the growth of fashion brands. Had my first child, my daughter Sylvie. And during this acute postpartum, I refer to like what typically people refer to as a fourth trimester. I refer to it as acute postpartum because postpartum is actually an up to 10-year nutrient critical life stage,
Which is crazy.
it's insane.
Like, who knows that? If you knew that, like, let me know, because I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's such a disservice to us as women that it's really only kind of the fourth trimester it's barely talked about, but that's really what is only talked about when it's really in fact such a bigger chunk.
And how long would you consider the fourth trimester to be? It's like 3 months.
It's 3 months.
Okay.
And then many of us are back in the office and then we're running around raising toddlers and, we end up coming last. And that was me. That was like the cycle I was in. I was taking all my postnatal supplements. At 4 o'clock would roll around every day and I'd be looking at a half-eaten bowl of oatmeal, half a bagel, and I knew I was falling behind on my nutrition. It was just for lack of bandwidth. I was not able to properly nourish myself. And this like kind of stayed with me. COVID hit. We had actually decided to move just prior to COVID from New York to Miami.
We did the same.
It was like us and
I was out here, just a native. Well, good for you.
And I was at home with Sylvie and the problem persisted. It was still really a lack of bandwidth for me.
Were you breastfeeding?
I was breastfeeding. At that point, I was combo feeding. I went like about 5 months exclusively breastfeeding. That's a story for another day. It was like very mentally and physically challenging for me. So I started combo feeding at 5 months, but we moved down. Sylvie's like 9 months when we moved down to Florida. This problem persists for myself, and I'm just becoming so obsessed with this space, this like giant white space of postpartum healing and recovery. And so I started like digging into like every kind of avenue of the space. Obviously, my biggest pain point was the one I was most interested in, this inability to properly nourish myself. I started learning about all the meal delivery services. I started talking to everybody that I could, from Purple Carrot to other kind of snack brands, just to do fact finding and realize like what was really capital intensive, what was really possible. I'd worked with founders for so long, helping them build their brands. And I always thought, I think I could do this, but I would need to do something that I'm like so passionate about. And as I'm sharing this idea that I had to this like line of support snacks, a mutual friend was like, I think you should meet my friend Monica. I like, still remember where I was. I was pacing
Leo's
around.
mom. Okay, I was like,
Shout out to
Leo's mom.
Rally.
Hey.
Leo's mom was like, you should meet Monica. I'm like in the backyard of my in-laws' house, pacing around on my first call with Monica. And I'm like, listen, there are two things that I know. One, over 50% of moms after the first 3 months are no longer breastfeeding. And 100% of moms are contending with the full spectrum of postpartum symptoms. Hormone regulation and balance, needing digestion and microbiome health, tissue repair and muscle function, calm, energy, sleep support, and lactation support. I was like, I really want to figure out functional food as medicine for full spectrum postpartum healing and recovery so that we are touching every mother, serving the full sisterhood. I said, is this possible? And Monica said,
I was upstairs in this very house nursing my giant 3-month-old baby in the midst of COVID, who I then nursed for 2 years after, long story. And I'm like, listen, girlfriend, people come to me all the time and are like, I want to do this with nutrition. Will you design it for me? And like, that's really cute. But you know what? It's a lot of balls and bars and powders and potions. And not only does this seem really innovative because it's nothing that's been done before, but you seem highly competent and smart. That is rather rare in the city of Miami. So,
no,
yeah. I was like, I'll do this for you.
Monica literally she sent me an Excel. She said, what do you want this to look like? I said, everywhere I go, whether it's a playground, pediatrician's office, it's COVID, but I was like, it was just when we like started flying again. And I just kept seeing women reluctantly sip on fruit pouches. And I was like, this format is great. Let's make it full of functional whole food ingredients. Let's make it taste great. And let's make it feel like we are doing a little luxury for ourselves. So a pouch it is. And it's shelf stable. So you keep it in your purse wherever you are.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's really how you can easily access this food as medicine approach to kind of this full spectrum of postpartum healing and recovery.
And like, do you have different flavors?
3 different flavors. Oh, Mama Live, Mama Mellow, Mama Mind.
There's a lot of Excel tabs, man.
It took 2 years to find the right co-manufacturer. It's literally been blood, sweat, and tears to get to the point where we had an incredible product that we felt really confident about putting into market. This past August, we launched our beta. We sold out of 4,000 snacks in 5 weeks. We spent $0 on marketing. It was incredibly successful and exciting. And now the really big challenge is going into full commercialization.
For sure.
And being able to really spread the word about what we're trying to do, which is like this. People might think it's hokey, but it's this whole concept of like serving the sisterhood. How are we taking care of women in our life?
That makes so much sense. That's what this whole podcast is serving the sisterhood. There are so many people who can relate, who can't relate to like needing a snack. And that's the thing about like grabbing your kid's pouch. You realize suddenly that you have like this dire hunger and you're just going to grab whatever you can because you have to feed you and survive in order to take care of that new child that you have. I was just about to say, or like right now, like my 6-year-old, I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. The amount of moms that actually purchased from us that had kids older than 2 was huge. Like,
makes sense.
And that was part of the thesis. It was like, okay, we're talking about postpartum being up to 10-year nutrient critical life stage. Like, this isn't just for women getting rolled out of labor and delivery. Like, this is for us throughout this decade.
People texted me from New York and other states being like, hi, I know you're involved with this brand. Like, when is this flavor coming back? And I'm like, I'm not stocking the shelves. I am just a scientist. But since you asked, it'll be back in Q1. And then so I'm like, Rebecca, we got to make more flavors. So now back to my Excel sheets where I'm like, now I want something that's going to have more magnesium. So
Monica's R&D right now are menstruation and general women's health collection.
Cool.
So it'll be 3 new SKUs focused on
different flavors, different names.
The same mamas.
Same mamas. And like, I know you guys, and I know you guys as like regular moms, like we see each other at like school drop off. You are. We'll see you at the bath club. And like Sylvie is the sweetest little girl. Like, she's just got such sass. She's got a great personality, and it obviously comes from you. And I always admired you as a mom, but like never knew you were going to be a brand founder and like of something so relatable to our entire like mom community and then above, it's just, I'm so impressed by both of you.
About you when you came out with the podcast, I was like, Lil Tori with the cute, like that girl, like with the cute clothing line that she used to like. Oh, she's so eloquent.
We were talking earlier today and it's like to do these things. First of all, there's so many like regular moms that I see at school that are like doing huge things, like criminal defense attorneys and judges and like doing like really amazing things. But there is something really vulnerable about what we're all doing right now because it is a requirement of us to put ourselves out there in order to promote how we're trying to take care of,
the sisterhood, as you said.
And we always kind of talk about like heal, revive, and thrive. Like, we're not just talking about like a woman's survival. We're talking about like how she can like nosh well and live
Mhm.
well. But the requirement on us to put ourselves out there in order, like, nobody is doing it for you. Like,
No.
if you want to create something, it is your own personal inertia that is the requirement.
No,
And
it's spot on.
It's uncomfortable and it's scary. It's
Mhm.
extremely fulfilling,
Mhm.
but you have to get over a lot of your own boogeyman every day to it.
100%.
It's
And
really hard to be an entrepreneur.
right, there are some days you just like don't feel like doing it, or like, but you still have to show up and like give it your all, because if you don't, who else is doing it? Like nobody. So you are completely putting yourself out there, like I said, and you face this fear of rejection. You're putting yourself out there, even to people you know.
It's like you put yourself out there, you deal with all the boogeyman you have to deal with in doing so, and then you still, the pocket of work time ends, and then you're showing up for your kids.
Yeah.
And like, where do you put all of that, the personal stuff you are working through in order to show up in that way? Where does that exist when you need to show up as mom
And feed yourself like 6 times a day.
yeah, and that.
But that's a lot. Wait, 6 times a day? You feed yourself 6 times a day?
I eat a lot, Tori. I'm really hungry.
Is it 6 meals?
No, it's 3 meals and like 2 to 3 snacks.
No, but like that's good. You act like you're ashamed. I'm like, I'm lucky right now if I'm getting the half bowl of oatmeal. And
Because it is so central to what I know and understand and believe about being a dietitian and my own body. I would never miss a meal, even if I was on a plane or like in a very foreign country or on another planet. I would be like, well, I have some hard-boiled eggs with me. That is not weird.
Very stinky for a plane.
Very stinky. Not
Don't
the
do that to people.
Not the stinkiest thing.
These are much better for the plane.
Oh,
we
100%.
just came up with a, replacement
that's
of the
a big
hard-boiled
use
egg.
I mean, I think they could complement why can't we all live this plane together in happy harmony with our hard-boiled eggs and our mamala? Yes. But like, I'm never not going to miss a meal. Like,
Well, let's quickly talk about that, because we refer to our Mamala support snacks as a complement to your supplement, because we really feel like there's a place for everything.
they're a compliment to your eggs.
You have your supplements, but your supplements can only do so much. The rest has to come from whole foods. So how are you getting in those whole foods? This is one way of getting in those whole foods.
Can I try that?
Yeah.
I haven't had one yet, but it's staring at me, and I want to know, is it a smoothie?
You're going to find out.
I know.
It lands, I like to say it lands somewhere between
Pudding.
like a pudding and a mousse.
Interesting.
To me, it's a mousse.
I'm wondering what I'm tasting, and it's exactly what it says it is. It's vanilla and pumpkin seeds. This tastes like pumpkin pie. Do people say that?
A lot of people think it tastes like a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, I see that too.
Yeah.
I totally see that too. And you know what? I was really curious about if it was going to be like a berry smoothie type thing that wasn't filling.
Yes,
And
it's very satiating.
No,
I am
but
eating
it's
it
not
right now.
heavy.
It's not heavy. It's thicker than I was expecting, but I also feel it immediately like settling and like fulfilling. It's going to be filling, and it's big.
good. The taste was like
Bigger than a normal pouch.
I
Like,
could make any product. Like I could make like but it's going to taste disgusting, right? Like imagine what I could put into a smoothie.
Yeah, there's quinoa sprouts, there's mushrooms, there's
getting it to taste good.
girl,
Like this was magic.
I got to tell you though.
We worked with 3 different food scientists to get to this final
The drama.
all organic ingredients.
Soy free. I was very big on being nut free.
Oh my God. Okay. This I can read. I can read the ingredients, and there is nothing questionable in here.
No.
Everything starts with
Well, no.
organic and
So our
real. You can read it.
philosophy is we want you to look at the label and know that every single ingredient you can find in the grocery store, number one.
It's resealable. It's
Resealable.
resealable. No spillable?
Nope.
Girl, and I was like, my hands could be covered in shit and I could still eat it.
There would be
So
no
true.
way to tell which is which given the color, but yes, that is.
Oh, gross.
Every single ingredient was like so thoughtful. Your memory, Rebecca, you probably don't remember this. Like you don't know what went into agonizing about every ingredient. I remember being in San Francisco at the hotel I was staying at, and like on a call and like arguing the ingredients, like with the fervent passion of 1,000 suns with like some other dietitian or a co-packer, and like me
No, it was another day.
digging my heels in and being like, this is how it's going to be.
Good for you.
That is how, like,
And like, listen, yeah.
That's why manufacturing process took so long, because I would never put something out into the world that I would eat, obviously.
How long did it take?
no.
It took
I
over 2
wish.
years. Well, I had the idea. Like,
When did you call Monica?
I called Monica 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But it was 2 years.
Because my
having
son's
a
6.
baby.
Oh, right. Your boob.
Yeah. We had our first, by the time I was midway through my pregnancy with Stanley, we were like, we were testing out like first V1 samples.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went through, I was working with a co-manufacturer in Daytona, but the manufacturing process wasn't something I was comfortable with because we were doing a process that exposed the product to heated plastic. And I'm very concerned about microplastics. As you can see, I'm like carry like a to-go cup with me.
Oh, is that why you were asking like if she had Keurig or regular coffee? She was wondering. And I mean, I just think it tastes better. So that's what I assumed, but now it makes more sense.
So I had to search far and wide for a co-manufacturer that could basically, the most layman's terms of talking about it, it's called aseptic. And what it does is the product is heated in the titanium of the machinery. The product is cooled. And after it's cooled, it's filled into our pouches. So it's a very specific technology that we use that is not widespread. It's European technology that we produce in the States. And it took a long time to find them. And then to go through R&D with them. So that was a big part of the process. But the reason I came back to it is because when Stanley was 6 months old, we had like the very V1 samples. I had gotten like some early feedback on them. And then I was like, who am I? I'm like, I'm going to build this thing. Like, basically, who am I to do it? And I had a call with my friend's sister, who's been in the world of CPG for a long time. That's consumer packaged goods. And I told her like how far I've come and how I was thinking about things. And she's like, just keep moving forward until you literally cannot move forward. Until you cannot move
And
anymore.
I was like,
okay. She was like, you've come this far. Like, just do that. And after that conversation, I called Monica and shifted into gear. And it's been go time ever since.
That's amazing. And I think that's just like great advice, like life advice in general. I love that you shared that because who needs to hear that?
Last Friday, I ran into Sunsets at Harbor and I was like, it's all because of you.
Oh, I love that. And that's just like the sisterhood too,
Totally.
And like women.
She just had the second baby and she is a customer.
I love. So I've shared with you guys, and I've shared with you guys as well, that postpartum for me, and not only that, but like post-divorce as well, were just really stressful times where my mental state was just gone. I was absolutely like clinically depressed, in my bed, not showering, like just disgusting. And like feeding myself was on the bottom of the list. And we were talking about this, and I shared this with you guys too, that I got down to 98 pounds, which for me, I'm 5'1", is pretty low. And I started having seizures because I was not eating or drinking. So like I had super low electrolytes as well, just not taking care of yourself. And that could be postpartum or just any stressful situation, which is super relatable. Like whether that be divorce or anything going on in your life where you just kind of shut down. I feel like if I had that and also had somebody saying, all you got to do right now is grab that pouch to like get it in you and then you can take care of others, I probably wouldn't have had the seizures, as long as there was some sort of nourishment to me and a really easy way of getting it to me, because I was a hard-boiled egg person in recovery. That was my recovery, like go-to.
6 grams of protein.
I just had to do it. Sometimes I could do the yolk. Sometimes I couldn't do the yolk. But like you needed something that convenient and unfortunately travelable-ish, but like at the expense of
like
other
a generator. I'm not going to tell you that that's like, like, oh yes, 1 egg is more than enough to power you through the day. But, when you're talking generator, like after a hurricane and the generator comes on, you can power like half a room. I mean, this is why I think everyone should have a psychologist and a dietitian and so many other professionals. But, postpartum, PT, pelvic floor, OT, lawyer,
or just a podcast where you have people talk about it.
Worrying, but like basic life skill is nutrition. And people think in the spirit of motherly martyrdom, I don't need to eat.
Absolutely. It's motherly martyrdom.
To me, to most dietitians, we would never dream of missing a meal. My newborns were screaming and I was like, I must go down and make my oatmeal. I will be with you in 3.5 minutes. Most people find that to be crazy or selfish. We're not marketing this as like, this is all you need. Have one a
No.
day. It's like, okay, I ate this. This kind of woke up my appetite. Maybe I should make myself a couple eggs, or I should eat a sandwich, or I should, drink some. It's a gateway snack.
And I
it's like a
think
gateway
Monica says often that to piggyback on that, like when you're making a conscientious, good choice about what you're putting in your body, it begets making another conscientious, good.
One good thing leads to another. Right. Yeah. Well, that is an issue for me. I need a sleep consult. I need an infant sleep consultant for myself. Yeah. So we're not saying like we'll solve all of your problems and do your math homework. Like this is a bridge to supporting yourself.
But also, like in the bigger context, how deeply tied nutrition is to our mental health.
1,000%.
Our gut microbiome.
Well, there's a gut-brain axis. There's an axis. It's like literally a bidirectional.
Isn't it 95% of our serotonin is coming from our
the receptors are there. Well, that's why. So this explains why when you were in this perilous mental state, your appetite shut down.
Yeah,
because this was like some people it revs up and they compulsively eat. So working in the field of eating disorders, what you're describing, zero surprise in these very high crises times where different neurochemicals, cortisol, adrenaline, all these things are being secreted, stress hormones, postpartum hormones, appetite shifts in weird and unpredictable ways, and nutrition can suffer.
Absolutely. I mean, I can relate to that. And I've honestly, I was telling her before, like I've never been diagnosed with anything. I never sought any sort of help, but just that like validation kind of, and
of course,
knowledge felt that.
Even brides, like, a lot of them can't eat before. And it's funny. So many brides cannot eat before their wedding. They're too nervous. There's too much to do. My dressmaker was like, oh, I'm going to let it out even more because you're not going to eat for a couple of weeks before your wedding. I was like, let me be very clear with you. I cannot miss meals, good sir. And but that's a conscious override. That's weirdo dietitian thought. Most people, your mental health is directly correlated to your appetite and therefore your cognitive food choices. Makes complete sense to me.
Yeah. We have made a really concerted effort, especially during this like time where this is going to go live when our product is available again. But as we're recording this right now, we're about to go into production again. And during this time that we've been out of stock, it's been a concerted effort to really do as much as we can to educate our consumer and serve up great materials for these women to learn more, not only about their bodies, but about just going through this season of life. And Monica has been such an incredible resource. I always say, even if you're not into our support snacks, let us be the place that you come to figure out how you should nourish yourself. You go on our product pages, you scroll to the bottom, you see we have a section, Healing Power of Food. And Monica has gone through to explain why every single ingredient has been selected and what it is doing actually for your body. And it's an incredible resource and one that I use as I make decisions about how I'm feeding myself over the course of the week.
Oh, that's amazing. And I love that, again, just like in the spirit of sisterhood. That's something I saw you were putting out this product. I understood what it was to some extent, but I didn't understand how much you had really gone into learning about what supplements and nutrients needed to be in this in order to do it. Upon first glance, I really thought it was just like a grab and go snack.
Which it is.
It is, but it's so much more.
Again, we're not saying it doesn't do your taxes, unfortunately.
But it is not the same as your child's applesauce.
No.
So, note it.
It is probably just the segue to what we all needed, which is bigger and deeper conversations about I'll say antenatal experience, not just postpartum, but prenatal, natal.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit, about what's to come and, what you were talking to me about.
So really, the goal of Mamala was to create a collection of support snacks, menstruation through menopause. So we want to be there for a woman's full life cycle of nutrient critical moments. So we're R&Ding our menstruation general women's health collection right now, and ultimately will be menstruation through menopause, hitting prenatal, hitting perimenopause.
I was going to ask, where are you going to hit on that spectrum?
So you cannot escape. We will hit you at all
from
places.
The moment.
Wow.
For the moment you're premenstrual, getting ready to start menstruating, we're going to be there to help nourish you.
Wow, I love that. And I have personally gone on a very interesting journey. I've had a hysterectomy. So luckily I still have my ovaries and I'm not going through menopause, but there was a good possibility that I could be in that boat. And I would have been really lost. But having started with, the first product for postpartum, and if I knew about the next one, like for menopause, which I would have been going through at 30 years old, that would have been amazing. So there are going to be people who are in that boat at some point and are looking for products to support
perimenopause
this.
is that's nearly us.
I was just about to say, right?
Not you.
Well, I'm close too.
Yes, we all,
And what a lot of people ask me, they're like, my kid wants to try it.
That's fine.
And I'm like, it's fine. Yeah, every single ingredient on the back of it. You can pick it up at the grocery
That's
store.
why we didn't put caffeine in it.
So many of our customers returned within 2 weeks. We had 10% of customers return. I mean, we were only on the market for 5 weeks, but 10% returned in the first 2 weeks. And they returned because they said, my kids can't get enough of it and my partner can't get enough of it.
Oh,
So the husbands were eating it, the wives were eating it, the kids were eating it.
Yeah.
Which is great because, I say often that we live in a society in which like everything from Tylenol to protein bars are based off of a man's biology. We are in the business of putting easy grab and go, great healthy products into the market that are based off of a woman's biology. Anyone can enjoy it, but they're really made for us.
Have you ever thought of a Papala?
We've heard that a lot. We are out here doing this. Everyone can enjoy it, but we're sticking to our mission, which is serving a sisterhood and making sure that we can all nosh well.
Love, 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 love. Okay, so I think we had an awesome chat today. I loved learning about Mamala. I literally still have my Mamala in my lap, and I was just like, "Do you mind passing me the Mamala?"
Pardon me.
Like,
I am with hunger.
I am with hunger, and that was so convenient. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell the God's honest truth. You can see it right now. I went to Maman, got a chicken club sandwich. Was thinking of bringing the other half here because I was still hungry. But there was a snack right there, and I just asked you to pass it and grab it. And this is not even like plug promo. This is like genuine. I just nourished myself a little bit before we decided to do this outro.
Also, shout out to Maman because Elisa, the founder of Maman, is the most incredible person, and we're going to be selling our support snacks there.
Are we? Man, Lisa.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Young, Hot, and Divorced. I'm Tori. This is Rebecca. That's Monica. And this is Lemon. And this is my amazing Maman drink that I brought here. Also, shout out to that chicken sandwich. It was really good. And then my Mamala, which legit is actually amazing. And I'm kind of upset that I have to wait to get more. But
January, 3rd week.
Maybe we'll put you on the VIP access.
oh, do I get like PR?
That honestly did not exist until just now when I said it. Now it does. So congrats.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I made the list, guys. All right. Well, we're going to hang and enjoy our snacks and just be moms for a sec. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you on the next one. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye.